Hey guys, once again, it's our joy and privilege to join you all online through our Facebook and YouTube channels. I hope you have found a nice spot to sit down and with your devices with you. And joining us on C3 CCA In Touch. And today we want to discuss a topic which is found everywhere, which is just coming around the corner. In a week's time, we are going to be celebrating Christmas. And Christians all around the world, not only Christians, even people of all walks of life, they just enjoy celebrating Christmas. Now, Christmas is even before the churches could talk about Christmas. The shopping centers are already advertising. There is these beautiful lights and presents, the Santa Claus, and all these reindeers and lights. You can see the decoration behind me. And today the media team has set it up for Christmas. The Christmas feeling itself is a kind of a holiday feeling. Everyone loves Christmas. I'm sure we all look forward for Christmas. Right. So with regards to Christmas, there are many questions floating around the world. So I would like to discuss a few of the questions that has been in debate. And today I got once again our beautiful Abigail with us. And Abigail, once again, you're looking good today.
Thank you, Pastor. You said Christmas?
Yeah.
You said Christmas, so I thought, what better way to dress up and chat about it?
Oh yeah. You dressed up for Christmas, and they got the lights and all that. This is nice. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the setup. Yeah. So, yes. So Abigail, so let's just discuss some questions. I'm sure you would have been doing some research and coming up with some difficult questions that has been debated around the world. So, what's in your mind?
Well, first of all, Christmas is such a happy time.
Exactly.
It is one of the wonderful times of the year.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, your three little boys will be expecting something wonderful.
They love it for a lot of reasons, and we're going to discuss about that.
Yeah.
But very first thing is, the very first question which I would like to ask you is, does Christmas or is 25th December Christmas?
Oh, right. 25th December was it? I know there is another tradition in the Christmas in June kind of thing that happens as well, right?
It's like the winter Christmas, like in July. White Christmas.
July, that's
White
right.
Christmas.
Yeah. So for us, even though most of the songs are being sung as White Christmas and beautiful winter, but for us in Australia, it's hot Christmas. Yeah. Christmas is very hot and humid. But the question, coming back to that very important question, are you asking, was Jesus born on the 25th of December?
25th of December. Why do we say that 25th December is Christmas?
So,
is it really Christmas?
Well, first of all, the Christmas means Christ and his birth. But many churches do not celebrate Christmas because of the fact that Jesus was not born on the 25th. To be straightforward answer to your question, the answer is no. Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. But the fact of the matter is, we do not know when Jesus was born. We know for sure that he was a historical figure. He was born at a particular time. And the Bible is very silent with regards to this particular matter. But it's such an important event that happened in the history of Christendom or the Christianity in the world itself. But the Bible is very silent about Jesus' birth and the date and the month. So, according to the ancient traditions and most accounts of the early churches, but by AD 200, right, just 200 years after the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, Christmas took place in the month of January the 6th. Do you believe that?
Okay.
Early church tradition was January the 6th. That tradition was brought up by a kind of a belief during that time. Saints and men of God, they believed that their birth date and their death date were exactly the same. So with that Jesus, they decided, or they somehow or other calculated, Jesus died in the month of April the 6th, all right? And then they said, okay, January the 6th was his birthday. But that was all speculations,
Yeah.
right? So there's also these people who do not celebrate Christmas, say this argument that, when the angels came to reveal the birth of Christ to the shepherds, shepherds were out there in the field, as the Bible records. Now, during Christmas, December period is winter season in Israel. So it is believed that the shepherds do not go into the field to tend their sheep during winter season. So it couldn't have happened during December. That's another argument against the 25th of December. But once again, I'm saying, like, in the Bible doesn't record as to when Jesus was born.
Yeah.
Now, the classic example is, when is Queen's birthday?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about it? I was just doing a thought this day, and Queen's birthday, as you see, in Western Australia is September the 28th, right? And ACT is June 8th. New South Wales is June 8th as well, right? And then in different parts of the world, it is of different time. So we know for sure that Jesus was born. He was a historical figure. But nowhere in the Bible it says that he was born on the 25th of December.
Okay.
So the question comes as to, why do we celebrate Christmas, yes? So
when we think why, and I think I also read somewhere that the early Christians actually didn't celebrate it either. So I think it's more of us, remembering the birth of Christ.
That's true.
And also the season to give.
That's right.
I think that's what, it's more not whether he was born or not, but I think it is more about
On that day or
on
not.
the day or not. But it's more about, I think, the giving and the loving, and actually the season for
They're
giving.
showing the attribute of
The
God.
attribute of God.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So, that's right. So Christmas, even though Jesus was not born on the 25th of December, but it is a date that we have chosen to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have another one here. Is the day of Christmas originally a pagan festival?
Wow. That's
hard
a very, very, very important and hotly debated question. So why are we celebrating it on the 25th of December? Is it from a pagan tradition that was brought in? So in the Julian calendar, the 25th of December was reckoned the winter solace. It was regarded as the nativity of the sun. It is a pagan tradition.
Okay.
It was on that day, right? What I'm trying to say is, the month of December, according to the move of the sun, they say that during that time there are many things, that there is a change happening, right? There is the new birth of the sun, they say. So during that time, many cultures, not only the nativity of the sun, there were many other cultures had different occasions, remembering or happening during that time. So it appears that the Christian church chose to celebrate the birthday of his founder on the 25th of December in order to transfer the devotion of the heathen worship pattern to the Son of Righteousness. Okay. So in certain parts of the world, not everywhere, there was this tradition of some of the heathen practices. They were, practicing this kind of thing. Now, I just need to tell you something. When the missionaries went out into the pagan world, this was like in the early century, not the first century, but then in the, very much later, when the German missionaries and the American missionaries started going into the pagan world, the whole community came to Christ. But they had their own practices, or they had their own celebrations. Now, for any culture to thrive and survive, festivals are important. I'll give you some examples at a later point. So when they found that these people were celebrating and those celebrations were important for the culture to thrive, what they did was they took those dates and used it and gave it a brand new meaning to it. So the solstice, or the nativity of the sun, which was celebrated by some of the paganistic people on the 25th of December, the whole community got saved, and then missionaries used that particular date to introduce Jesus as the real Son of Righteousness. Okay. So whatever was sinful, whatever the enemy has taken it for his own gain, had brought, they have given it a brand new meaning. Now, at this point, I need to tell you all something. The very practice of the tabernacle, right? The Ark of the Covenant, or the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant that the Israelites carried. Even though God gave very specific details with regards to how it has to be built and what is to be carried in all that, how it has to be carried to Moses, but it was not a practice that was unique at that time. It was already a practice of the Far Eastern people during the time of Moses and before, for them to carry their gods in boxes. But God took that practice and gave a brand new meaning and said, I will come and rest in that place. So he took something that the enemy had taken and used it for his purposes, and used it and changed it, gave it a brand new meaning, so that even today we preach about the Ark of the Covenant. We see the blessings that comes out of it and the presence of God. So likewise, the early missionaries did take some of the traditions of those people, the celebrations, which was important for the culture to thrive, and gave it a brand new meaning. Okay. Right? So that's how said. Let me also give you a few more things about it. I think it was only in 8375 where church officially adopted 25th of December as a Christmas date. Right. Well, that is also another factor. Now, this is, as I said, like every culture had different celebrations, different times. Now, in the early church calendar, there's another practice that was found in the very early church practices. There was, during this time, there was known as the early church calendar of saints. It's known as the early church calendar of saints. So every saint will have their birth date and death dates and all that. Even though they didn't have a proper record, they would have just put it. And 24th of December, right? 24th of December in the early church calendar of saints was known as the Adam and Eve's Day. Okay. Yeah. So it was known as the Adam and Eve's Day, and they were practicing that. And also, on Adam and Eve's Day, they will have what is known as the paradise tree. Now, whenever you draw the Adam and Eve picture, you draw two trees, the tree of life and tree of good and evil, and then you put a man and a woman. In those, usually it's one tree, the tree of life, and then Adam and Eve sitting there. So it was known as the paradise tree, represented the Garden of Eden, right? So the paradise tree was often paraded. They will make this paradise tree something like this. They will make it, maybe not this in form, like, small trees. And they usually it's quite big that they make it. And they will make it out of wood, right? Or sometimes during the years, things evolved. And sometimes it's a tree. they will carry it around the town. And then they will come and in a public place, they will put it there. And what will happen is they will parade this the paradise tree, advertising a play. And in the evening hour, there will be a play telling the Bible stories to those people who could not read or write. Okay. So that was the early church tradition. Now, remember, it's the 24th of December. Yeah. And then the paradise tree was paraded around. Yeah. And then the Bible story was told in the early days. Yeah. So that is one of the traditions that has brought in. What we need to understand is, even though Jesus was not born on the 25th of December, these traditions have been sort of brought into. But as I said, we need to give a brand new meaning to anything that the enemy has taken away. Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. The traditions and things that we follow, it's not just for like a waste of time or just something that we do. These traditions actually have meaning.
That's right.
Yeah, and Christmas is it's just a love to the world, joy to the world.
And also we're taking the tradition that the enemy has taken to use for his purposes, and we transform it for God's glory.
God's glory. Yeah, nice. Now, Pastor, about the tradition of the Christmas tree. Here we go. Something that we all, we basically have doubts. Do we put it up December 1st? Do we put it up, a day before?
Yeah.
So what do you think about this Christmas tree? Does it even have anything to do with Christmas?
Well.
Or Jesus, rather. Yeah.
Well, it's all a bit of a traditional thing that people had sort of been following. Now, since Christmas was during peak winter, as we all know, most of the trees would have shed their leaves and it'll look dead. But the only tree that would survive the winter was the fir tree during those days, right? So the evergreen fir tree, which is known as, traditionally been used to celebrate winter festival. Practice. So they will celebrate it for a winter festival as a practice of life, hope, when everything is dark and gloomy. So because of that evergreen, or if I can use that word, evergreenness in that tree, which will not lose its green leaves, people would celebrate with that. And there was this tradition, people will cut these evergreen fir trees and hang it upside down. In the early days, they will have these chandeliers, the rich houses. They will hang it out upside down. And other early Christmas tree accounts, many parts of Europe, they will have this cherry. During Christmas, cherry is very famous.
Little cherries here.
Oh, that's right. We got cherries here. Yeah. You got it. All right. Yeah, the cherry. Why is that tradition of cherry is so popular during Christmas? So they grow cherry trees, and the cherry tree usually Christmas time it blooms and gives brings forth fruit.
Okay.
So, and the people who couldn't afford to have a living. Growing cherry tree, they will do pyramid-like trees, like in this shape, with wood, and that is somewhat similar to the paradise tree that I talked about earlier.
Okay.
So that tradition, and it says they will create this, pyramid-like tree and decorate it with apples and with paper and candles. Right? That's where the lights, the apple, where's the beautiful decorations that the things that we hang.
Put on
it comes. So it's all a bit of a tradition. Yeah. Now today, the other day we saw a Christmas tree. Someone had decorated it for 2020 Christmas tree with toilet paper.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
With we are thinking of having one in our church.
Church, okay.
Yeah, when you come for our Christmas service, you will most probably you will see one. So it's decorated with toilet paper, sanitizers, and then masks
Yeah.
and gloves.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing the occasion and the remembering of that situation. Yeah, so that's how the Christmas tree came into. It has nothing to do with Jesus, but it's just a traditional practice.
Yeah. And it's good that and I think your point about it was winter, and the only trees that were there were the evergreen, like the fir trees.
Fir
and I
tree.
think that's why we probably use that as, something to do with that time, that Christmassy time.
Even today, the trees
winter
that
time.
that's right. The
Yeah.
trees that we have is the evergreen tree,
Yeah.
shaped in that way.
Yeah.
It is.
Nice. And Pastor, what about Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So what do I tell my boys? Are they real? Are they not? I don't want to break people's bubbles in case, they have told their kids Santa is real. Maybe they should turn the TV off now.
Well, Santa is the kind of a traditional Santa that we celebrate today is not real, as we all know,
Okay.
right? He comes from North Pole and
The North Pole.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes in all these different kinds of red dress,
Yeah.
and some of the preachers and pastors have given different meaning to that red dress and the beard and all that, gone a bit more too deeper into it.
Yeah. We've added drama, basically.
Sorry.
We've added drama.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We added our own
like
meaning.
a bag with gifts. It's like coming down the chimney and all these things, added story.
How did it all start? Okay, the Santa Claus comes down the chimney.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Santa Claus is not from a pagan tradition.
Okay.
The Santa Claus idea originated from a Christian tradition, a true story. Let me give you this true story. And my family and I had the privilege to travel to that place to visit that church that was built in the name of Saint Nicholas.
Okay.
Right? So he was a bishop in the 4th century. Right? We're talking a lot of traditions today, so just bear with us. It's good for you to know, because when you do not know the truth, you just tend to be led by everyone's interpretation.
Yeah.
So know the tradition properly. So on the 4th century, it's a place called Myra.
Okay.
Myra is where it's found in the Bible, and it's in Asia Minor. It's in modern Turkey today.
Okay.
So if you go to Turkey, go to Myra, you can see this place.
Sure.
This bishop was a very rich man, a son of a very rich parents, and the parents died, and he became a priest, and then the whole money that the parents had, all the riches came to him. But he was a very generous and a kind-hearted man. So he would go around helping the poor, giving secret gifts. That was his trend. He would go, will not want to show that he is giving gifts, so he will hide and just put the gifts there. There are stories of there was this young boy who was crying that he didn't have enough to eat, and with the mother. The father had died, and the story says that he would go and through the window he will put some coins, gold coins, and will not, reveal himself to. And the story is also said there was a poor man who had 3 daughters. And the man was so poor that he did not have enough money to give them in marriage, because dowry was, dowry tradition is very much found in the Asian, Indian, Sri Lankan culture. So he didn't have enough money to sort of give them dowry and get them married. And he was crying one day. So this man, this bishop, Nicholas, Saint Nicholas. Later he was, given as sainthood, and he would go there, and through the chimney, what he did was through the chimney, he had thrown some gold coins, so that the girls can get married. It so happened, the family had hung their the socks, right,
Yeah.
on the chimney to dry.
Okay.
right, on the chimney to dry.
That's where the stocking came in.
The stocking. So they said that the money had fallen into the stocking, right? Somehow or other it has fallen into the stocking. So the man looked at it, and later he found out that it was Saint Nicholas. And even though Saint Nicholas pleaded with him not to tell anybody that it was him, he went around telling his, the generosity of this bishop. And finally people came to know. And when he died, he became a saint. And there are so many beautiful stories about him as to how he was generous. So Saint Nicholas became Saint Colors in the early times in their language, in Myra. Santa Claus. He was known as Santa Claus, which evolved into Santa Claus.
Okay.
So that's how the Santa Claus tradition came. But the red suit and all those beard and all that, it keeps, traditions keep adding culture. And, so many new things are being brought. To this year, you will see Santa Claus with a mask.
With a mask.
Yeah.
With a mask.
Right.
Yeah.
So as events happen, everything evolves.
Yeah.
So we should actually go to the origin.
Yeah.
So there is nothing dangerous or fearful that you should keep your children away from Santa Claus, but give them the real meaning of Christmas, that God gave his only begotten son. This Saint Nicholas, he was a generous person, showing the very attribute of God.
Yeah.
Christmas is about giving.
Giving. That's
Yeah?
right.
So the whole thing just fits in that way. Yeah.
Nice. So, Pastor, yes, as we obviously coming to the end of it, tell me.
Wow, time flies.
Time flow, yeah. Some closing remarks, obviously, about Christmas. And I also have, I wanted to talk about, yes, it is a time, it's the best, the favorite time of the year for me, for everyone. It's happy,
for
we
me
give
as well.
gifts, we dress up, we have dinners and lunches and all this.
That's right.
But there are also some people that are hurting at this point of time, and they might feel. We say, be happy. It's Christmas. Like I actually work with people, and today I spoke with someone who's actually given a life expectancy of 15 months.
Oh my goodness.
So he had been diagnosed with brain cancer, and and he just said, thank you. And he just was still very kind in the way he spoke to me. Basically, pretty much the whole of December, every time I speak with people, they say, you know what, have a great day, Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year. But with this person that I spoke to today, it was an emotional day for me today. I didn't know what to tell him. So I didn't know whether I had to say Merry Christmas, because this person he might not be next year. That's
right.
So what do we, like, as obviously Christians, in today, obviously we're coming back from traditions to a bit practical. We have relatives that's lost loved ones this year because of the COVID time.
Yeah.
So Christmas is actually not a jolly time for a lot of us this year. So what do you want to say, Pastor, to people that are hurting, people who actually, like I said, to me, working with people, if someone asks me, I don't have much time to live.
Yes.
So how do we show God's love and also somehow say, you know what, it is still Christmas. It is, be there for people that are hurting. What do you think, Pastor? I just thought I wanted to. I know he's huge. It's coming from Santa and tree.
Yes,
But it happened today, and I thought, you know what? Let's discuss it. Even though it's Christmas, there are people that are going through a hard time.
So we talked about Santa, the dates, the
tree, the
trees, the decorations. But here is where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
And here is where, Abigail, I think Christmas is special because Jesus is represented. And Jesus coming into this world, being born in the form of a man, God sending his only begotten son, is to give hope to all humanity, right? So Christmas is about more than gifts, more than celebrations, more than decorations, more than the physical gifts. It's about hope.
Yeah.
Hope for people that it's not over. There is future for you. Maybe some of those people who have lost their loved ones. When Jesus came into this world, he didn't come to celebrate, he came to die on the cross of Calvary. The beautiful message of Christmas of hope is not about all these beautiful things that we see, but it was about death, which brought hope for all humanity. It doesn't matter what language or what religion, what situation you may be going through right now. You may be looking at the world and the decorations of the people getting busy buying gifts and all that. You may be thinking, why is my life like this? Let me tell you, my brother, my sister, you just invite Jesus into your heart. He will give you hope, not only in this life, beyond death. So that is the beauty of Christmas. And he brought healing into this world. He can heal you. If you call on his name, he said, I will heal you. That is another gift that God has given us, a possibility. And also, even if I die today, I have that hope. There is eternity that I can live, because Jesus was born into this world and died, taking my sins on the cross of Calvary, and giving me hope beyond the grave, beyond death. So that's why the message of Christmas is so, so wonderful to me. So you said that final parting words that I would like to celebrate, say during this Christmas time. I think this is the best message that Christmas can bring. And, special days, as I mentioned earlier, celebrations are vital for any community to thrive and to for community life. God commanded Moses to have special dates of celebration, right? He had commanded Moses to have, apart from the Sabbath day and all that, there was this known as the celebration of trumpets, which is beginning of the civil year, right? Then God said to feast of the shelter or the booths, which is the week of celebration for the fruit harvest. When there is harvest happening, God said, celebrate, have a fun day. And it was during the grapes and the olives are being harvested. It is known as the celebration of booths. Then they had the new moon day. It was like, let me explain the new moon day. The Hebrew word month is Hodesh, literally means new moon. Right? So Numbers chapter 28 and verse 11, God said to Moses, and he said, at the beginning of your month, which is months means Hodesh, which means new moon. So in the beginning of your month, you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, 7 males of lamb, and so on and onwards. And he gives so many different ways as to how they can celebrate, share with others. So the Jewish calendar was based on a lunar cycle, right? So when the month starts with the growth of the new moon, when the moon resides, and then it starts. So God said, yes, celebrate, because God knew the importance of celebration in a culture. So when he started, the people of Israel, brought them and gave them a brand new life, he said, have these celebrations, which is important. So in Isaiah, God also said, I hate your moon, new moon feasts. Right? Now, you need to understand, God did not hate, or rather, let me put it this way. God hated the new moon feast because the intention was wrong. Right? Originally, they were celebrating and thanking God for the life they were given. But man started celebrating and giving glory to the creation rather than the creator. So the enemy has taken the very idea of this new moon and many other celebrations, which God intended was good, and he had been using it to worship paganistic or creation, which the Bible says is wrong. But you and I as Christians, we need to take that back from the enemy and bring the real meaning, or even the traditional practices that the people have been practicing for years together. We need to give that new meaning to that, like the way, the Christmas, the 25th, was the celebration of the sun. But early Christians, the missionaries took it and gave it a new meaning. But now today, many church leaders, they're just running away from it. Oh, I don't want to touch it. Because whatever was created in this world was created by God, right? So even man, Adam and Eve, they were created. Satan took them away for his purpose. You and I, what are we called to do? Save man. So it's not only man, the traditions, the practices, everything. It all comes from the wisdom that God has given. But Satan is taking it and use it. Even music, as I said at the last CCA in Touch, the Tamil thing. Satan has taken it and using it for his own purpose. But you and I, we Christians, we have the call, the great mandate, the great commission to not only save the lost, but also to save everything and bring back new meaning. So that's why Christmas is very important that we celebrate Christmas. The hope that we can give to people.
Like you said, Pastor, we can use it, obviously, us being as Christians, for His glory.
That's right.
My dad always used to say, don't put Xmas, put Christmas, because it's about Christ. And it's not about Santa or lights or Christmas tree, but it's about love, it's about joy, it's about hope. And that's what we as Christians, I think we should go out into the world and show this to people. And then they say, okay, wow. So it's not only about, all these things, but these Christians actually showing the love of God.
That's a good point. Can I just interrupt you? Because I was thinking about this, you just brought it up. Now, some people use that Xmas thing, right? And there's a big ha-ho about it. Let me just explain this. Now, I didn't, it just comes to my mind, I'll just talk about it. Now, the sign X is the first letter, which is in Greek, is cha. X means cha. The sign X is cha. Cha is the first word for Christos, right? So Christ in Greek is Christos, right? So it starts with an X. The first letter for the name Christ in Greek is what is represented in that X. So they are not cutting off Christ away. They're using the first letter of the Greek word, and then the Mass is brought. But I would prefer Christ Mass. That'll be more ideal. But this is some of the reasons why people have used that kind of
It's like another tradition, like
a
way that man does.
That's right.
Well, Pastor, thank you for your time. I think we can wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And what about our Christmas services, Pastor?
All right.
For this year, when are we having it? Do we?
Well, with the pandemic and all that, usually we have a massive one big service and all that. But we're still having service this year. So you need to call us or send us an email or get in touch with us so that you can register. As the the government regulations, we had to register. So we're having a service, two services this time. So one is at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
It'll
24th of December.
That's right.
Christmas Eve. And that will be in English, I think?
That will be in English.
That will be in English. And another service at 9 a.m. on the 25th of December, and that will be in Tamil.
Right, you got it right. So 11 p.m., that's Christmas Eve in English. Then we'll have carols singing, and then we'll have some food outside. And then the next day morning, if you couldn't make it, it'll be in Tamil. It'll be at 9 o'clock. 9 in the morning.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Pastor. And Merry Christmas to everybody. And hope everyone has an awesome New Year. And Pastor, we'll see you in the New Year.
That's right. CC in touch.
In touch with more topics like this.
Exactly.
And we'll see you then.
Write to us if you have any questions and any topics that you would like us to sort of discuss. Right, we'll take it up and give it our best shot to discuss it with you. Thank you once again, Miguel.
Thank you,
God
Pastor.
bless you. God bless you. May God bless you and Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful, meaningful Christmas with hope in Christ Jesus. God bless you.